Hi, I'm Kristina Liu, and I'm a Vietnamese-Canadian cartoonist from right here in Vancouver. I'm super excited to be here. So I usually illustrate kids' graphic novels and make comics, and I'm super excited to be a part of the Lantern Fest festivals this year. So thank you for having me. It's both a great honor and a delight to be featured in my own home city. So about my piece, a lot of my work is inspired by local myths and stories, whether it's from the people or from history. And so my piece is called Dragon Landing, and it's based on Halong Bay, which translates from Vietnamese to English as Dragon Landing Bay, or Vin Halong. So the story itself is about how the natural archipelago of Halong Bay, which is a series of limestone islands, was a result of a dragon landing and descending into the bay to protect the Vietnamese people from invaders across the ocean. And so I very much took this story as inspiration for my piece for the festival. And so usually my process is that I usually start with an idea that is often rooted in stories, whether it's, a story, regardless of what it is, whether it's a myth or a story from a person. I just love working with a narrative of some kind. And from there, it starts with, the usual drawing process of sketching, lining, and coloring, etc., etc. I also like to make a small version of every big illustration I do, which usually is just about a couple inches large. And then from there, I'll see if I like how it looks in that tiny format, and then I'll blow it up and make a big version. You'll see this process a lot with a lot of painters and illustrators. We'll usually do it, and we'll call it like a thumbnail. And I actually do draw a lot of inspiration in my own work from Vietnamese culture. Like I said, I love stories and mythology, and regardless of it being Vietnamese or not, I just love storytelling as a whole. And I feel like it's one of the most enduring and universal ways we can connect with people or history or culture. And I love hearing about folklore and stories and how they are similar and different in all parts of the world and all that. So, and in particular with the Vietnamese culture, I do actually very much enjoy gathering reference and looking at older pieces of art to see the inspirations that, see the shape designs and motifs that I can draw into my own work. I love looking at design and shape language and line work and incorporating that into, whatever it is I'm illustrating, whether it's cartoons or kids' comics. So I honestly am very excited to be a part of the Lantern Fest this year. I really do think this is a wonderful way of opening up the celebrations of Lunar New Year to people who don't usually partake in any of the festivities. And I think this way of presenting lanterns is a wonderful way of showcasing the vibrancy and the diversity that makes up Vancouver in a very literal sense, with this beautiful artwork on display from all kinds of cultures and backgrounds. And to me, the theme Born to be Free means to be yourself in the greatest capacity. So whether it is through self-expression, art, your own identity, through your work, or however it is you go about it, that's to me what being free means. And in this sense, in my piece, it's quite literal, as the dragon represents freedom, because in this case, the dragon is what led to the liberation of the Vietnamese people from their invaders. And so that ties in that, to be free is to be able to live happily and fully as yourself without, society getting in the way, and without preconceived notions of gender, identity, and of course, most of all, without oppression, whether it is from an external force or from other non-tangible thing. So, and yeah, to be yourself is to be free. And for this Lunar New Year, I want to wish you all a prosperous new Lunar New Year ahead. As we welcome in the Year of the Dragon. It's considered one of the most auspicious years of the Lunar New Year calendar. And in Vietnamese, we also call it Tết. So I also want to wish you a chúc mừng năm mới and a happy Tết ahead, whether you celebrate or not. And thank you for partaking and for listening.